everybody. Welcome to today's live. I am so excited to be sharing with all of you in the Amy eSummit that's happening this week. So appreciate all of the team at Sell with Amy. I appreciate them inviting me to share with you guys today. If you are here with me live, please say hello in the chat. I'd love to know the company that you're with or where you're listening in from today. Can you hear me okay? I've got lots of exciting, very impactful things to share today. Oh, wonderful. Hey, Christine, great to see you on here. I have a lot of friends who use Amy. I have a lot of friends in direct sales who are always looking for awesome digital tools. So very thankful to have connected with Amy. I actually met Amy and the team at Sell with Amy when I was a corporate trainer and coach with Jordan Essentials. And the app and the tool was recommended by one of our consultants. A lot of other consultants started using it. They fell in love with it, and it just was an amazing tool for them. I know we have some Jordan Essentials people that'll probably hop on. I know they're already using the app. It's an app I would have loved to have when I was a consultant. I was with Pampered Chef for 20 years, so I've been in the direct sales industry a long time, but I've worked with business owners of all types, and so excited to be sharing today because I have a topic that a lot of people probably don't talk about, or I should say a specific thing, a specific word we're going to be talking about today. And I think it's going to be so impactful because my goal really is to help you build momentum in your business. I was in your shoes for 20 years, and since then I've been working with consultants and leaders from so many different companies, solopreneurs and course creators and all types of business owners, and really people struggle with this one thing. So thanks so much to everybody that's saying hello in the chat. So glad that you're here. Thanks for letting me know that our audio sounds perfect. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get rocking and rolling. I want to honor your time today. My name's Lydia Martin, and I'm the founder of Banish Business Clutter. It's actually a company I started this year, 2 weeks before COVID hit. So it was actually good timing, believe it or not, because I was able to be home with a lot of you as you were home and reinventing your businesses, right, into online virtual businesses. So it actually worked out fantastic because I really had just this gut feeling that what I wanted to focus on was a big need in the business world, and it has to do with the word clutter. Clutter, this one word is literally what my entire business is founded on, because in being in the business world for 25 years, I finally pinpointed this one thing that really held me back for many years in my business. I've seen it through coaching. So I do want to clarify what clutter is. How many of you, when I said the word clutter, this was the first thing you thought of, right? You thought of physical clutter, right? You thought of maybe your desk at the moment. I love this. How'd you get a photo of my desk? Oh, I will be honest with you. When my first 15 years in business, my desk looked much worse than this. This is not a photo of my actual desk. It was awful. I just was always in that survival mode, right? How many of you guys can relate to that? Like, you don't have time to organize stuff around you because you're busy. You've got people to talk to. You've got a business to grow, and all of that stuff sort of stays in the background, right? I get it. This is so familiar with a lot of people. But here's the thing. I'm not going to just talk to you guys today about physical clutter. When I say the word clutter, I actually mean this concept. And Peter Walsh is a famous person when it comes to organization. I love lots of his mantras. But when I saw this quote from him, it was literally the foundation of what I wanted to teach business owners, because clutter is so much more than the stuff on your floor. That rhymes. I like when that happens. Okay, it is anything that stands between you and that life and business that you want to create. Okay, so clutter is so much more than just the physical stuff. And I'm going to go into the 3 key things that if you can work on reducing clutter in these 3 areas, it is going to make a massive difference in your motivation, in your momentum, in your growth, in how you feel, in your confidence. Okay, and so that's what we're going to talk about in our short little 30 minutes together. Okay, all right, so this was my life. Even though this is not my actual desk, this really represents my life for a very long time. I was super overwhelmed, constantly trying to keep up, right? We're keeping up. And think about it. When technology and social media came out, it was supposed to make our lives easier, right? All it did was make it more overwhelming. Wouldn't you agree? Right? I mean, we just have so many more places to keep up with things. And I'll be honest, how many of you guys have ever missed out on an opportunity because of disorganization? Right? You met somebody out and about, you wrote down their contact information on a post-it note. That post-it note is long gone by the time you need it, or it gets put in a pile of papers, never to be seen again. And that person could have been the most incredible lead for you. But because you don't have a system, you don't have a place where that goes, you don't have a plan for those things, you miss out on those opportunities. And let me tell you, all of this costs you time, money, your sanity. Okay, I'm sure many of you can relate to this, right? So I want to hear from you guys. I would love to know how clutter makes you feel. This is any type of clutter, that overwhelm. I'm going to go into the 3 areas here in a minute, but I would love to hear from you guys. You heard my words: stressed, overwhelmed. When you walk into your workspace, when it is disorganized and you don't have a place where things live and you don't have a plan for how to handle leads and your customer follow-up and all of the things you do in your business, how do you feel? I want you to tell me in the comments below with one word. Oh, Jenny, this is a good one. Claustrophobic. Like you feel like things are closing in around you, right? Are you motivated to go into your workspace when you have that feeling? No. Okay, now I got a bunch of them coming in. Christine says anxious. Tony says anxious. That's a popular one. Mickey says defeated. Do you guys want to feel defeated at the start of every day? No way. Okay, stressed. Okay, look at this one. Megan says stressed. I agree. You don't need stress. Sheila says the same thing. It's just adding to that. And do you agree? Remember, clutter, I said, is anything that's holding you back. Do you want to be held back every day by this clutter, or do you want to have clarity? Do you want to have confidence? Do you want to have calm? Okay, those are the words we want to get to, the feelings we want to get to, not frustrated. I've had people tell me that clutter makes them feel incompetent, like a failure. I don't want that for anyone, okay? So that's why I want to talk about clutter today. I want to help you reduce, even eliminate some clutter in your life so that you can focus on the activities and the people that matter most. Does that sound good? Give me some hearts and thumbs ups if you agree. So this, happily, is what my office looks like now. Now, it wasn't the screen in the beginning of this video because I'm using my green screen right now, but this is my actual office. This is what it looks like. If I were to move my green screen out of the way, you would see this. And would you agree that when you walk into a space that is clutter-free, that you feel very differently? I have some words on here, but how do you guys feel, right? Oh, even Christine says, look at this. I want to feel calm, right? And that's how I feel when I come into my workspace now. Now, I want to preface this by saying I've been in business now for over 25 years. It took me 15, 17 years to finally implement what I needed to get to this point. This was not an overnight thing, but I will tell you how empowering it is to walk into a clutter-free space Okay. Kate says relaxed. All right. We want to be energized by our business, right? So does it always look like this? No. Okay, I just want to put that out there. Of course not. We all have those priorities, those things that, life is a unexpected day most times, right? We have those things that unexpectedly happen. We can't ever keep a perfect system all the time. But when you have a plan and you have a place and you know where things go and you've got those setups, those systems and things, you can get back to that quickly. Okay? So that is very exciting, right? How many of you would love to create that kind of system for yourself? Let's talk about the 3 areas of clutter that my guess is affecting you the most, okay? And this is your business and your life. And anything in your life affects your business too, doesn't it? They're very intertwined. But when I talk about things like physical clutter, okay, I'm talking about those paperwork piles. If I were to ask you how many paperwork piles you have in your house right now, would you be willing to share? When I lived those first 15 years, there was paperwork piles everywhere. My office, my kitchen desk, my kitchen counter, my dining room table, because I just didn't know what to do with the paper. And back then, we didn't have online cloud-based systems. What did you do? You created file folders and filing cabinets. And that system, I just could never get it where I would keep up with it. Okay. What about those tax receipts? Oh, how many of you just love tax time, right? You get to tax time and you're like, you know what? I've been so organized this entire year that I can send everything over to my CPA, plug it into TurboTax. I'm good to go. I didn't have that happen for 20 years. For 20 years, every year, I filed an extension or completely stressed out at the last minute. But I'm here to tell you, since I've implemented some of my online systems, tax time is a breeze for me. It's so much better when you have a system that you track all along the year, right? Mail is one of those things. Every time mail comes in, paperwork comes in, if you don't have a plan for what you're going to do with that mail, it piles up. I had somebody on here say I've stopped counting my paperwork piles. Okay, exactly. So it's like I have things everywhere, then you can't find it, so then you have to print it. So I'm going to tell you how I overcame that struggle, okay? And all of these things above are definitely part of that physical clutter. What I really finally implemented in 2013, when all these different cloud-based tools were coming out, I decided I could not handle the paperwork anymore, and it was time to go to an online system. Now, we only have a few minutes here today, so I can't go into this in depth, but when I say online system, I mean a cloud-based storage tool. It can be iCloud. It can be Google Drive. It can be Evernote. It can be OneDrive. There's many different online platforms out there. I know some of you may even still be using Dropbox. Dropbox was one of the first ones that came out. Okay. So anyway, in a long story short, in 2013, discovered Evernote thanks to a friend. It completely changed my life and my business. And I help people with systems no matter what tools they use. But what I want to leave with you today is that if you are struggling with paperwork, there absolutely are ways that you can store information securely online. Instead of having file folders and filing cabinets, you have online folders and notebooks and things like that, so that not only is it easy to find, right? Like I can't walk into my office and enter a search and it'll find that Post-it note for me to buy. But if you have your information online, you can do a search and voila, all of that information is not only easy to find, but accessible from any of your devices. So you can absolutely get to that content. You can organize it. You can share it with your team, with the people you collaborate with, all of these things. So I just wanted to put that kind of bug in your ear to know that there is freedom from the paperwork. Okay. It's just being intentional on learning and establishing those online systems. And before I leave with you today, I'm going to do a couple live demos so you can kind of see how this plays in real time. But that's a little bit about the paperwork clutter. The other clutter that is so massive as far as how it affects business owners is digital clutter. Okay, this is probably my genius zone. Okay, of all the clutters, this is the world I live in, helping business owners discover the right digital tools to use, like Sell with Amy. So why is a tool like that something that helps you reduce digital clutter? Well, let me give you an example of digital clutter. You're trying to communicate with your leads, potential customers, and you're trying to do good follow-up with your current customers. What's your system for making sure leads are given value and nurtured so that they become customers? And then what's your system for keeping customers, creating that loyalty so that they refer you to others? You need a system for that, okay? And if you're brand new to the business, to your business, this may sound overwhelming, but just know, some of us, we do totally live by the seat of our pants when we're just starting out. But if you are wanting to build a business and earn a business income, you have to do business activities, which means creating systems around lead generation and customer care. Well, a digital tool and solution is Sell with Amy. That's a tool that literally helps you keep those contacts organized, prompts you each day with your own to-do list of who to follow up with. Okay, it's genius. You can check that out on their business page, their website. That's an example of taking that digital clutter and finding a tool and a solution for it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about digital files. And your desktop. This is an actual photo of one of my coaching clients. Yes, this was her desktop. We couldn't even see the photo behind it because she had so many screenshots. I know she's not alone, so she's okay with me calling her out on this. I've helped many people. They don't know where to go with their files, so they're just throwing it up on their desktop in hopes they'll find it. Well, there are ways to organize your files, and you can Google that information. You can go on YouTube, you can learn all kinds of things. You can find a coach that knows this sort of information, but I just want you to know digital clutter slows you down. All right. It just slows you down. You have things you've got to do. You're posting on social media and in your parties and different things, and you got to know where those photos are so you can drag and drop and move and groove, right? It saves so much time. Okay. If you have organized digital systems. And then here's the third area of clutter. And this is probably the one that holds business owners back the most. Who, raise your hand, give me a thumbs up, say that's me. If just the mental clutter is what holds you back. And this involves a lot of different things. It involves time management. How are you organizing your time? Have you taken the time to determine your destination, the goals of where you're trying to go in your life and business? That's step one. Okay. And then what's the plan? What are the steps to get there? And then that helps to determine the tasks that you need to have. And then you got to, schedule those things. I know it's always so, and I know a lot of people have businesses as a side hustle and as a hobby. And if you're doing your business for fun, have fun. Okay. It's not that, but I work with so many people who say, I want to grow. I want to earn XYZ income, but they never change the habits that they're doing to make that happen. You have to be intentional about these things, okay? And so if your schedule is stressing you out, it is so worth figuring out first of all, what do I need to do? Not just today, but like each week. What are my weekly tasks or my monthly tasks that I have to do in my business? You write all that down. You get it out of your head, okay? And when I say write, for me, I mean type. I never write anything down because I cannot stand paper. If you need to write because it helps you, great, but put that into an electronic system that you can then access and review, because now you're going to take those tasks and you're going to plug it in to something that prompts you, something that reminds you of things that you need to do. I love this one. Listen, I'm getting close to 50. And I'm going to tell you, my memory, sometimes I feel like I'm getting close to much older because I cannot keep things in my head like I used to. Okay? Can't believe I just admitted my age on Facebook Live. We're all friends here. We're all friends here. But I get it. And this is why I have to work very intentionally on getting out my plan and my lists and my priorities. I have to get them out of my head, and I have to visually see. And I'm going to give you some tips on this, because here's the thing, guys. You see this quote? Get rid of clutter and you may just find it was blocking the door you've been looking for. Right? We don't want anything keeping us from fulfilling what we truly, we're called to do, what our purpose and passions are. For a lot of us, rewriting your limiting beliefs is a huge piece of this. I learned this from Nikki Kyohoho from the DSWA. It's huge. If you struggle with all of that self-doubt, those things in your head that say, I don't know anything about digital tools. I can't do this. I'm too old. I've been doing this for too long, or I haven't been doing this long enough. You have to stop saying those things. You have to stop saying them in your head, because every time you say that, that is a limiting belief that's holding you back. That is mental clutter. You have to rewrite those into, you know what? I don't have a lot of knowledge on how to organize myself digitally, but you know what? I can learn this. I can take the time, set aside time. We all think we don't have time, but we just need to use our time, okay, better and more productively. But you have to rewrite those beliefs. That is huge in moving forward to what you want to create. Okay, is this helping anybody? Sometimes I never know where I'm going to go with what I talk about, but if I start feeling like, you know what, somebody needs to hear this, I'm going to say it. But rewriting and limiting your beliefs, that is a big one. So what do you need to get started in reducing clutter in your life? I try to keep it as simple as I can. It's setup, systems, and shortcuts. Okay. Most people have no idea how to set up their systems for success. They have no idea how to even set up their computer to work for them, how to set up their phone to work for them. Okay. And you want to take time to do that setup so you can be moving so much more effectively. Okay. The systems is the things like the digital tools and your plan for how you're going to do things. And then shortcuts. Oh my goodness. You have to be aware that just because we do something the same way all the time, it may not be the most efficient way. And that's where shortcuts really come into play. So let me go ahead and go to demos, because I want to showcase for you just what I mean by setting up your systems to work for you. And for some of you, the three little demos I want to show you today, some of you maybe have been doing this forever, but if this is new for you, I would love for you to say in the comments, mind blown, or holy cow, or, whatever, because I'd love to know if this is just something you've never done or set up, or maybe, it's just something that will make a difference. So when I say set up your systems like bookmarks. Browser bookmarks are some of the most basic things, and people don't realize the value of it, and it doesn't take long to set up. So I'm just going to show you really quick. What's bookmarks? See my bookmarks bar right up here? Now I use Chrome. Some of you probably use Firefox or Safari. You can do this in any of them. Just Google how to set up your bookmarks bar, okay? Or just Google how to add folders to your bookmarks bar, because here's the tip I wanted to share with you. Many of you guys have multiple Facebook groups, social media sites, Facebook parties that you're doing. Look what I did in my bookmarks bar. I created a folder that drops down with quick links to every Facebook group, site, event, party, page that I want to get to quickly. This one little tip probably saves me, I don't know, at least an hour a week. Because before this, what did you do? You're constantly like, yes, I know you can pin shortcuts to Facebook, but then I have to be in Facebook to do that. What I love about a bookmarks bar is this stays here no matter what tab I'm on. So I might be in Facebook, I might be in Canva, I might be in Sew with Amy, I might be in anything, but from any of these, if I want to get to a Facebook group or page or what, I just click on that and they're there. I have the same thing for my personal website, quick links to all of my website pages. Okay? You can do this with anything. I am loving the comments I'm getting in here. I've got Say what? Okay. And this is the thing. So people don't know, like Jenny's saying, you don't even know what you don't know. So you don't ever take the time to set it up because you don't even know what's possible. So that's why I like sharing these sort of tips, because it makes a massive difference. Just this one little shortcut. Okay, you guys are going to be like creating folders now. I don't have time to show you how, but just you can Google it. It's very, very simple in Chrome. I'll give you at least one little tip. Let me close out a couple of these. To set up your bookmarks, you just go over here to your three dots, go to bookmarks, and then go to your bookmark manager. Okay, but each one is different. Firefox and Safari, they're all going to be a little bit different. Okay, so keep that in mind. But that is an example of digital clutter that we just solved. Okay, woohoo! Who's excited about that? Meg says, I am doing that ASAP. You're going to have awesome folders across the top that link to everything that you need. This one is so big. Okay, so let me show you something else. And this time I'm going to show you on my phone. Let's do a paper clutter tip. Now, I know this might open up a can of worms for some of you, but I have to at least show you what's possible. So again, I use Evernote. It's just a tool I absolutely love. But there are other tools out there as well, but I want to at least let you know what's possible. How many of you guys, this is what overwhelms you when it comes to paper? The receipts. Now, this is just a Marshall's receipt. This is not really what would be a business receipt. And this is what's so funny. I had to search my entire house for this receipt because I never bring these into my house. Ever. If I have a receipt like this that I've gotten from while I'm out and about and I know it's a business receipt, from that place, I will add it. I don't care if it's in my car, at a table, if I'm eating meals with someone. I store this in my digital system so that I never have to bring this into my house. I never have to clutter this up. So I have a tax notebook that I use in Evernote, okay? So this is the notebook, and I am going to add an image of this. So check this out. It actually self-scans. So I just hover over the receipt. I'm not pushing any buttons. You see how it captured that? All I do now is hit save, and I now have a receipt in my digital system. I can come up here to the title, and I can say supplies. So this is supplies for my business. I hit done. It is now saved in my notebook, and that's it. I never have to do anything with that again. How crazy is that, right? Again, so many people don't know that this sort of stuff's possible. Now, there's lots of different scanning. I also have a physical scanner that helps me as well. But I just want you to know there are ways to conquer the paper clutter once you create those online systems. Exciting, right? All right, I'm going to show you something that's going to help you with your mental clutter. Who's excited about that tip? Okay, so mental clutter. If you are not maximizing your phone's calendar, okay, this is a huge tool for you in reducing mental clutter. Now, some of you probably love Google Calendar. That's a great one. You can always have the Google Calendar app on your phone, even if you don't have an Android phone. I use Google Calendar, but I sync it with my iCalendar on my actual iPhone. But you can use any device or tool, but whatever your calendar is going to be, there are amazing features in your phone, okay, in this tool. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you're always overwhelmed because you're like, oh my gosh, I have to change the banner of my Facebook group. I have to, go send out this email for host coaching. I have to, a lot of this you're covering in your Sell with Amy app. So I'm talking about other things that you do every week. Let me give you an example. You can go into your phone. Today's Wednesday, right? I'm just going to create something called Wednesday tasks. And I'm not going to set a time for this. I'm just going to mark it as all day so that it will stay at the top of my calendar. Okay. So I've got Wednesday tasks. This is what people don't utilize. Scroll down and you have a notes section. Okay. Google Calendar has all this too. Any calendar you're using. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put the tasks that I know I have to do every Wednesday. So I might put on here, change Facebook banner, send customer follow-up, okay, upload list to Amy. I mean, whatever you're doing, okay, you get the idea. So here's the thing though. You're going to repeat this. So you go to repeat, and instead of never, you're going to change that to every week. So that is now repeated weekly until I turn that off. But the other thing you can do is you can also set up alerts. Okay, that's down here. You can set up an alert that says on the day of the event, whatever. You may or may not need those. My point is this. When you add this to your calendar, I now have a prompt. So instead of having to remember all these things, I just wake up in the morning at the very top. I don't know why I put this on Saturday, July 11th, but I have this task. I click on it, and just like that, everything. Oh, and now I'm getting a phone call. That's so funny. All of my tasks for Wednesday are on here. When I'm done with my task for Wednesday, I just hit delete event. I don't delete all the future ones. I'm just going to delete today. That signifies, boop, done. How many of you love checking things off for the day? And then the following weeks, because I did it every week. See how that one still says Wednesday tasks? Okay? Who's having some mind-blown moments right now? Okay? I love it. And yep, exactly. Okay, I see a couple of you guys. Yeah, so Janessa is saying, do you send those files to your tax person? So yes, I keep all of my receipts in categories online, and then I basically use that information to send my CPA exactly what they need. Okay, they don't usually need the receipts. They usually just need the calculation of the total at the end. But I now, if I'm ever audited, I have the last 5 years all online. I don't have this massive box in my attic. Okay, it's all online, and yes, electronic receipts are accepted by the IRS, but it's all on there. And so if I ever needed to go back and show that that documentation, it's there. Okay, so I'd love to hear what's your biggest aha from today before we go back to our slides for a bit. What did you learn today? What's been most helpful? What are some things that you're like, okay, I got to make some changes moving forward, right? Because here's the thing, guys. One thing that holds us back a lot with mental clutter is indecisiveness. So I know what happens. You guys say, okay, you're going to get off this live, and you're going to be like, I need to conquer paper. I need to go find an online system. And you're going to spend the next 12, 16 weeks or months searching and researching what system to use, right? When I get why we do that. I'm a researcher, okay? That's what I do for a living. I figure out the best tools and why my clients should use them. But you guys should not be spending your time doing that, because indecisiveness doesn't build momentum. You have to take action. You can't learn and just learn and think about it. You have to do. So my biggest tip, just to let you know, is when you're starting anything new like this, you just have to decide and do it. I mean, pick one and go. Okay. And so I just want to put that out there. If you need help, you can reach out to me if you have any questions, but that is my biggest recommendation, because clutter is the physical manifestation of unmade decisions fueled by procrastination. And I am the queen of procrastination if I don't make a decision. When I make a decision, now I'm moving forward. Things are happening. Okay. So a lot of things is you just have to decide. All right. What's last? What's next? A couple things. The big question is, where do I start? I wanted to bring some awareness to areas of your business that may need a setup, a system, or a shortcut. Okay, so be aware of those things. Become a master searcher in the fact that you're not going to just settle because it's the way you've always done things, but connect with people who you see are doing things well. Find those people and those coaches and your accountability partners that are going to help you with this. But you got to be intentional with your plan of action. And here's the thing. You're not going to go back and fix all of the mess prior to today. My tip is to start from today and start doing some things a little differently. How are you going to look up your websites? Are you going to have your bookmarks bar? Are you going to save things in the right locations? Just start from today and start taking the right actions that will send you in the right direction. And you have to stay committed to it, guys. I know how overwhelming it is when you're learning a new system, when you're figuring out what you want your system to be, but you have to trust the process. Nobody implements this stuff overnight, okay? They just don't. All right. The best thing you can do is absolutely start from today. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this meme. It's one of my favorites because so many of us start something and we give up before we've even given it a chance because we don't see the magic or the instant results. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you want instant results, you probably shouldn't have started your business. Yes, sometimes things can happen quickly, but I'm here to tell you, after 25 years, you absolutely have to invest time in the process to see the ultimate result. So I love this meme. When you've been eating healthy for 15 minutes and still see no progress. I love it. So don't get frustrated. Don't give up too soon. Trust that, you know what, even though I may not have all my systems down, there are better ways to do things, and you want to connect with those people that we're going to help you do that. Find those accountability buddies. Reach out to your leaders. Ask questions in groups, communities, like the Sell with Amy group. You're frustrated about something, you go there and you say, here's what I want to accomplish. Here's what I'm struggling with. What do you guys do? Okay, you have to ask those questions to find out the best systems for things. I absolutely have loved being with you guys here today. We're over by about 6 minutes, and I do want to honor your time. I would absolutely love for you to connect with me. I always have to point the right direction. That's how you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, or my website, of course. Because I really want to empower and equip you and encourage you to go down this declutter journey. Because I'm here to tell you it is so impactful for your business. Getting the right tools, getting the right systems, and being committed to that process, I'm telling you, it makes a massive difference. So thank you guys so much for joining today. I'll be sure to keep an eye on the comments, even for those of you who are watching the replay. So if there's something specific you have a question about, if you comment, I'll do my best to come back into the group or on the page and make sure I answer or direct you to any resources that may be helpful. Thank you so much again to the Sell with Amy team for inviting me to share today. And I love this, Cindy. Yes, it's so freeing when you reduce clutter. Okay. I really, truly want you guys to create that life and business that you desire. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.